The smoke chamber is the angled masonry that transitions the chimney between the top of the firebox to the bottom of the first flue tile. IRC Building Code R1001.8 requires the smoke chamber to be constructed with solid masonry or hollow masonry that is grout-filled. The front, back, and side walls shall be at least 8 inches thick. The inside surface shall be parged smooth with refractory mortar conforming to ASTM C199. Further, code requires that the height of the smoke chamber wall shall not be greater than the width of the fireplace opening. The angle from vertical shall be less than 30 degrees if the smoke chamber is formed by corbelled masonry, and less than 45 degrees if it is for a prefabricated lining or is rolled or sloped rather than corbelled. The last part of this code really does not make sense. One part of the requirement is that the smoke chamber must be parged smooth on the inside, and the other part talks about forming it with corbelled masonry. Corbelled masonry is not parged smooth. It is jagged and stair-stepped. If you parge it smooth, then it will become rolled or sloped. The reason this code is required is that a smoke chamber is designed to funnel smoke from the firebox throat up to the flue liner. The smoother and more vertical the transition, the less resistance on the smoke path. Jagged and corbelled masonry are known to disrupt airflow and cause more resistance. The faster and better the draft, the less creosote will build. There is an artwork required by a mason to construct a proper smoke chamber. The mason needs to know where the smoke chamber is going to end before he corbels the brick from the top of the firebox. The flue tile is required to be supported on all sides according to IRC code R1003.12. Many times the mason will improperly form the smoke chamber and can leave sides of the lower flue tile unsupported. If a vitrified clay flue liner is installed correctly, the liner will be separated from the chimney by an airspace of less than the thickness of the flue liner. This means that the entire weight of all the liners stacked on top of each other will bear on the top corbelled brick at the top of the smoke chamber. Here's a thought. A 13 by 18 flue tile weighs 113 pounds per 2-foot section. If you have 30 feet of liner, then the weight bearing on the top of the smoke chamber is 1,695 pounds. From the Masonry Structural Design of Buildings written by the United States Army, the allowable shear strength of a brick is 25 pounds per square inch, and if a brick is 2.25 inches higher, then pounds per linear inch is 62.5 pounds per linear inch. With a 13 by 18 flue tile, the bearing length would be the perimeter of the tile, which would be 13 plus 18 plus 13 plus 18, which equals 62 inches of length. The allowable load would be 62 times 62.5, which equals 3,875 pounds, which is greater than the 1,695 pounds, and so the load is structurally sound. What if you loaded the brick on only the short two sides? The bearing length would be 13 plus 13, which equals 26, and allowable load would be 1,625 pounds, which is less than the 1,695 pounds, and would likely fail. This is one of the reasons why IRC code R1003.12 states the liner shall be supported on all 4 sides. Finally, there are other issues that may occur that engineers may not have considered. Imagine if a chimney is improperly constructed and the top flue tile is mortared to the crown. Now, imagine that the liner at the bottom is only supported on 2 sides. When the liner is heated, thermal expansion will elongate the liner and cause pressures at the top and bottom. If the top is grouted to the crown, then the added pressure will occur at the bottom. This could shear the supporting bricks, and the liner could collapse into the smoke chamber and land on the smoke shelf. Now imagine that happening while there's a fire going in the fireplace.